Hello guys, welcome back. Today I'm looking at an open source program called Zotero. It's completely free. You can use it on a Mac and PC, you can use it on multiple browsers, and it's great for storing all your research and sources and even syncing them online and sharing them. So let's get straight down to it. Type Zotero in the search box and select Downloads. Now before you start, choose what you want, because you've got Zotero, the latest 1.5 for Windows. Underneath you've got Zotero 4. Also you can download it for Mac, Linux 32 and 64-bit. So I want the Windows 5 for Windows, so I'm going to left click it and it will start downloading bottom left. To the right you can choose to have what's called a connector, a little add-in on your browser. Now I'm using Google Chrome, and what it does, it adds a little link, so every time I press it on a website it'll grab that source information from wherever I am, then put it into the Zotero application for me, and then I can go and source my work. Now you don't have to use specifically Google. If you select Zotero connectors for other browsers, you have got Firefox, Safari and Opera if you require. So I'm going to select Install Chrome Connector and select Add Extension. It should appear top right hand corner, and there it is. If you want to disable it, select Manage Shortcuts so you can disable it in your add-ins there as well. So I'm going to close that, and that icon will change depending on what you're actually sourcing as well, which you'll see later. Once Zotero was downloaded, double tap it twice, depending on what browser you're on, and follow instructions to install by clicking Next, and then Standard's fine to choose that option, and then click Next again. And you've got options here called My Library. You can create an account online where you can store your sources and sync them and share them online with different people. So open up Zotero and go to Edit and select Preferences and select Sync option. Now I've already created an account here, so create yourself an account and I'll leave it synced automatically, so it automatically syncs any references I add to Zotero application here will be synced automatically online, obviously if you're still on the internet. If you're using a hotspot from a phone or limited data, then you probably want to uncheck that and do that manually with what you need. Now bear in mind you're only allowed up to 300 megabytes of storage for PDFs, and that you have to pay for additional storage. But I'll show you how it works, the basics anyway, so click OK. Up here is where we create folders to our references, so let me show you. So top left hand corner, I'm going to select the little icon that says New Collection, and I can give this a name, so I'm just going to call this Science. Anything I source now will go in this folder, which I'll show you in a minute. There is New Library, so I can create a new group by clicking on it. Now what it does, it goes online, so what you do is you create groups we can have reference in it to share with different people. So I'm going to type in there Science main. Underneath it gives me the URL I can use to share with different people, or people public can access that if I allow them. If it's red, it means that's already taken that name, so you have to change it, but that's fine, it's green. Choose whether you want it public open membership, so anyone can use it and view it, or public closed, or private membership where you can actually email to who you want to join, so only members can join. But I'm going to leave this public open and select create group. Check your settings here, for example library reading, anyone on the internet can read it if you're okay with that. Library editing, very important here, you don't want anyone editing it, do you? So any group member that you've actually invited to your group and references can edit that. Now why we actually choose any group member to do file editing, so for example if I upload a PDF or Word document they can edit it, because it won't let me. The reason is because it's public. So if I put public closed membership, then it will allow me to have any member, because you hopefully trust the people that you're sharing it with. So I'm going to click Save Settings, and now that's done. Now I'm going to go back to Zotero. Nothing's happening in my group libraries yet, is it? Because it needs to sync. So top right hand corner, click the sync button, and there you go, it appears. So I can do all my referencing at the top here, get all my sources, and if I want I can then drag them in and share them into my group libraries. So look at them as separate. So I've got Science, I'm going to start with that. So I've got my first folder Science, so let's start a bit of sourcing. So I'm going to open up Google, and I'm going to go to, where should we go? Google Scholar, just for a start. And say you're searching on science, so I'm going to select Google Scholar. I'm just going to put science journals, that will do. So I'm not going to use a document, I'm going to use that PDF there. I'm going to open it up, and there's my journal. Now we can use what's called a DOI number, Digital Object Identifier, which identifies that journal. And I think we've got one up there, haven't we? So I'm going to highlight that first, right click it and copy. And I'm going to open up Zotero first and select this option, add items identifier, because it could be an ISBN number for a book or journal. So I'm going to right click and paste and click enter. And it's going to search, and it's found all the journal information for me through that DOI number to the right. So if I click through them, you can see to the right, there they all are. But also, if I go back to the website, I also want this journal with it, so I can highlight information I might want to use from it. So come to the top and select download and create a folder. So I've got a folder Science 234 I'm going to use there. So I'm just going to save it into there. Now, because it's highlighted, I can use the attachment button and attach a link to file. And there you go, it's attached. And I know it's attached, can you see a little paper clip here? So if I hover over it and do a right click, I can select View PDF or View Online or show where the file is. I can even show my library. I can add a note. I showed you a note in a minute. We've added that as an attachment. I can even duplicate copy that. Or I might want to delete it or move it straight to trace. I can even export it or create a bibliography from here. But I'll show you them in a minute. I'm going to view PDF so you can see it, and there's the PDF open up in Adobe Acrobat Reader. So I can scroll down, highlight information, use my highlighter there. Maybe a better way you might have as well, even though we've attached it. So I'm going to right click and copy that, go back to Zotero. What is my source information on a journal? I'm going to add a note on top here, or add a note here to the right. So let me select note for that. It's just a standalone note, but I can add sub notes underneath. I'm going to right click and paste it into there, and that way I can highlight additional information by using that option there, and that way it adds it underneath, so that way I can build up my information with notes that I want as well. So click back, so I've got info, notes. I can even add tags. Now these tags, you can add additional tags. Once you've built up your referencing list, come bottom left hand corner, you might be searching specific stuff. So I could type in sync, that would be a tag, and it comes up above. So if I left click it, it will take me straight to that journal. And if you've got hundreds of journals or even thousands of journals, that's quite a handy option to pull out what you need. Also, you might want to relate that to a different journal or a different bit of information. So if you click on it, you can go through all your journals or books or websites and select one that you want to relate that to and click OK. Then that will be related to it. So when you search for that later, it's cross-referenced. It'll be cross-referenced with other information. So look how quick we've built that information up. But what if you've already downloaded a PDF? Well, we can give that a go as well. So let's import a PDF into my science. Let's create another folder. So I'm going to select top left hand corner and call this Science 2. Don't worry, I haven't lost everything in Science 1, it's still there in Science, my original folder. So Science 2, I want to import PDF, but you can't import it using the import button, look. So I'm going to go to my desktop and choose either one of these PDFs. I'm going to open that PDF. It won't let you import it in. You have to drag and drop it, so minimize it and then drag them in. So I'm going to drag a couple of PDFs in there. So always remember to drag them in. So if I click on look to the right, it's got no source information for it, is it? I'm going to right click it and select an option that says retrieve metadata for PDF and left click, and it will search. Doesn't always find it, but there's only metadata there. That one hasn't got it, so I'm going to try the second one, right click and retrieve metadata again, and it's found it for that one. So if I go back up, I've now got all the reference information for that book. Now if it doesn't find it, go back to the PDF, right click it and select view PDF to bring it back open. In this case, look at the top there, I've got a DOI number. So I'm going to right click and copy. So with that highlighted, I can select the identifier option, right click and paste and click enter, and it will search, and there you go. I've got the reference information all for that again, all stored and ready to go. So you see what a powerful option that is. And again, you can add additional notes if you want, and even tag that, and even add additional tags or relate it to other journals or books. So there's two ways we've done already. So we've done journals and we've done a PDF on your desktop. How about a website? How about a research website with multiple links? Let's try JSTOR. Now I've logged in, it's a free account, there's Wellcat, there's loads out there. Let's give it a go. And there we go, it's found me book chapters there. But really I'm just going to break that down to journals by clicking that option and select update results. And there we go. Now what I recommend doing here is creating a folder so you can download your PDFs. So what I'll do is I'm going to tick this, say you want to use that as part of your research, so I'm just randomly choosing anything. And then we can download those PDFs to a folder, store them by using the download button there, and then choose where you want to save them to. But I won't go through all of them. But once you've done that, we now need all your links and references sources. So select export selected citations, and you need to export as an RIS file because it enables Zotero. Left click and it pops up bottom left hand corner, so once you tap that it will ask you to import them straight into Zotero. Now what I'm going to do here, I'm going to right click again, I'm going to click on a new folder and do a new one. I'm just going to put JSTOR Science, keep everything separated and organised. So if I go back to that website and export, tap on it and click OK, it then puts them all in there for me, and then I can attach the PDFs by highlighting them, do a right click and select add attachment. You can choose a link to a website or link, a stored copy of a file or straight to the file, or if you select the icon here it does the same thing. So I'm going to select attach link to file, science, and attach it, and there is the paperclip, and you can see it's linked. So that way I've got the journal, all the reference information, and if I right click on the link and select view PDF, bring it back up, you might go, actually I just want a bit of information here, right click copy, go back to Zotero, and remember notes, click add notes here, or click add notes at the top there. I'm going to do a standalone note, though you can do sub notes underneath. Control V, and again I've got my information, and then I can highlight or do whatever I want with that as I build it up. But we have another option as well, so I'm going to select a new folder again. I'll just call this Book Science. Now come to identifier again and click on it. So you've got a physical book in your hand. Now on the back or front of the book you should have what's called an ISBN number, and that allows you then to identify the book online digitally. So I'm going to right click, I've got a number here, and paste. So that's the ISBN number. I'm going to click the enter key, and there you go, it's got my information for a book and ready to source. And again you can add a note to that. Again you can add a note, new standalone note, and then you can paste your information you've typed up into there, or maybe you've even scanned it off and you've attached it with the attachment button by right clicking and select add attachment, or select an attachment there. So you can add a note, and again if you come back out of here you can use tag, and that way you can tag it for later, or even relate it to another journal or book that you might have. So if I go to citations, I can select one I want, introduction, click OK, then that will be related to that, and again you're cross-referencing your information as you're building it. So there you go, so we've got online PDFs, multiple links. How about random websites? Science, so you just do a random search and you find something you like. I know you can't use Wikipedia as a source, but I just use this as a demonstration. Now come up to the top here, now you see how the icon's changed. Left click it and it should have grabbed all that information for me. Let's go back, I'm in folder book sites, and there it is. So that went very clever, so I'm going to right click that and select move item to trash, because what I really want to do is create a new folder, Science Web, and go back to that website and grab the information again. While I'm there, I might want to highlight some of the information there that I might want to use. Control C, right click and copy, and there's my reference information here to the right, and if you look it's got all my abstract there automatically. But again you can add notes, add, paste, and then highlight additional information that you might want to use there. So you see the amount of sources that we can collect and gather here. If you have any issues, as say a book's not got ISBN number or you can't find the ISBN number on it, or a journal DOI number and you won't find the metadata, then you will have to put it in manually by using this option here. For example, if it's a journal article, select journal article, hold the left button, pull that out, and to the right you can start filling the title, volume, issue, pages, and when you assessed it and additional information. Now that varies on the reference style you're using, but I'll show you the referencing in a minute. So anything you can't find out there, it's still worth doing because you're storing it and you're syncing it, and you can cite your work automatically in a number of word processors. What I'm going to do is drag this back to the right, get that out of the way for now. I want to show you this to the left. Now remember at the beginning I created group libraries. I've got Science Main there, but there's nothing in it. So I can now grab this information, drag and drop it where I want. So I could come into a right click and do a new collection, and I could call this Book Science, click enter, go to my Book Science and hold the left button. I've got no note, I didn't add one, and drag it in and go to Book Science, and there it is. Again, do a right click, new collection, I could call this Science 2, and again Science 2 on my main library, and I can drag out what I want to share or store, hold the left button and then drag that into that folder. Click in Science 2 and there they are. They should automatically sync, because remember I went to Edit at the beginning, Preferences, and I selected Sync Automatically. But any issues, top right hand corner, select the Sync button and that will sync. So now that should sync that onto my Zotero server for me to share with groups. Let's have a little look. So I'm going to open up Zotero and select my library to start with. Everything's synced automatically from my library already. Now go to Groups. I want you to select Manage Profile. Now there's the name. Here you can add a description for your groups to share. And you can change all your fonts there if you want as well. And you can put the disciplines there if you want as well. So I just put System Science. You can do multiple ones by holding the Control button if you want as well. You can upload a new group picture if you want to show everyone, or if there's a web page about the group you could then put it in there and share that. So click Save. So come to the top, select Science Main, and there's all my references I've uploaded, and the little indicators tell you whether it's book or journal as well. So see all 5 items in the group library I've got. Click Group Library and there they all are. I can tag and look for information here as well if I need to, and I can tick on here and I can delete what I don't want if I want. So if I double tap it, it brings it up. You can see all the reference information and the tag, remember, that I added earlier, ethics, and if I click quote, notes that were added will be in there as well and listed. If I click edit, because I'm able to edit in, then I could edit that note as well when you shared it with different people, and click save. And I can even trash what I don't want. Go to Science 2, again there's all my reference information, and I can delete collections I don't want as well. For example, I might decide I don't want book section, Book Science, and I can select delete collection and select delete, and it will delete it for me. Now an important part, when you're actually sharing, go to share, go back to groups, and you've got manage members. Click on manage members and select send more invitations. So now you can email certain people that you want to be able to access your database. And separate with a comma, and then click invite members. It will then invite those members to your database and groups that can access, edit depending on the settings that you chose. I might actually get rid of that because I just made them up and they might actually exist, and I don't think they'll be too impressed. And there you go. You got my library that will list all your libraries in there automatically. See, my libraries are synced automatically online to here, as you can see. So anything I add to Zotero is automatically here at the top of my library, synced automatically because I chose that option online. Anything here underneath group libraries I have to copy into to sync separate, because remember the bottom one I'm sharing and the top one's my own library, but it backs them up for you online anyway for you there. Right, last of all, back to Zotero. Again, if you don't want any of these folders, right click and you can select delete collection and get rid of the collection. And it goes to your trash there, so you can access them if you want later. And a quick look at the top here. You can export your library and choose you want to export it as notes or export files. So I'm going to export Zotero RDF and click OK. Choose where you're going to save it to, and then you can export and import them wherever you want. Also with file, you can import from clipboard that you've copied up there. Edit. Now I'm going to go preferences because I went over it quickly with you with the sync. You've got general, so you can have a, depending on what layout you want, play around with that. Font size, you might want a larger font size, but I'm happy with small. I would automatically check for updated translators and styles. Click update, and then it will report any broken ones. What this does, it automatically takes a snapshot when creating from the web pages, so you've always got a snapshot of exactly where you got that from as well. I'll leave that there as a really useful option. Automatically attach associated PDFs after files and other files when saving items. Automatically saves you time. And I automatically did that with the tags I showed you earlier with keywords and subject headings. Again, you don't have to do that, you can untick that, but it does automatically remove items in the trash. Anything in the trash will be deleted after 30 days, so bear that in mind. Search, remember what we did at the beginning when we had to actually do that PDF to read the data, we had to update the PDF indexing. So you can rebuild that or clear the indexing if you want. But that will mean any attachments and content will no longer be searchable. Now we haven't done this yet, we can choose a reference style and export. We can choose a reference style to cite your work in Word or another word processor. But don't worry if you don't see your style there, it's not a problem. I'll show you how to download styles in a minute. Cite, I'll show you that again, we'll get additional styles by clicking this option, but I'll show you where to get on the website. We've got word processors, so this installs the Microsoft Word plugin for you, or if you're using LibreForce, it will put a plugin which enables you then to cite your work in a word processor. So I'll show you that in a second as well. And last of all, advanced, you can choose your language there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click OK. Before we start, we need a specific reference style, so I'm going to open up Google. I'm going to type in Zotero styles. Choose Zotero styles, and depending on what you do, type in there. So I just type in Harvard, but you might want footnote in or Scholar or Humanities. Now scroll down. If you hover over it, it does give you a little view of what that reference style will look like in books and journals and websites. So I'm going to download the Open University Harvard reference style by left clicking and click OK, and it'll automatically put it into your Zotero for you. Open it up. So if we go to Edit, Preferences, Cite, we should have that Harvard in there. And there we go. You're going to have to start Zotero for that reference style to be installed, so I'm going to do that now. And let's see if it's in there. Go to Edit, Preferences, scroll down, and there it is, Open University Harvard. You can do a style preview if you want to have a quick look at it, or style editor. But I'm just going to click OK, and now we're ready to cite our work. So I'm going to open up, I'm going to use Microsoft Word for this, as I haven't got LibreForce. Open a blank document. Now I'm going to have a Zotero. Let's say that I want to use this reference from a book. Now, I didn't add any notes there, but what I could have done if I did, I could have copied and pasted it and then cite my work, couldn't I? So open up Word. I'm going to type an imaginary quote and close quote, direct quote. Now come to the top, you should have a Zotero plugin at the top. Now select Add Edit. Choose your reference style here, so Open University, and it will tell you underneath the language as well and fields recommended. If you're using a footnote one, it will give you a footnote option underneath as well, so take a good look at that to make sure you're choosing the correct one. Now I can type in what I want. So I want science, and there's the book I want. Tap on it. As it's a direct quote from a book, if I left click into the citation, I can pop the page number in there. So I'll just say page 45, just put the number in. You can add a prefix in your citation before it, or a suffix after it if you require. Some people require additional information in your in-text citations. Or you can even suppress the author if you don't want that shown in your in-text citation. Now, I'm going to click the Enter key, and click the Enter key again. and it cites my work for me that quickly. When you finish all your citations, at the bottom of your page or bottom of your work you need your bibliography. Select it once and it selects your reference style for you automatically in alphabetical order, as that's what Harvard requires. Now what I'm going to do quickly, I'm going to come back up, get rid of that, and get rid of citation. I'm going to click add edit again, click OK, but this time I'm going to delete that and I'm going to type it in again so it comes up underneath in your library. But what I do is click the little arrow in and select classic view. So that will bring this view up so you can go through your folders better if you want specific folders you're looking for, because it can get quite busy with all your references, and that way you can choose them manually that way. And again you can add your page in there and click OK and you can cite that way. So you don't have to click add edit and use this option here. You can go to classic view, and if you open up Zotero, go up to edit and select preferences, go to cite and select word processors. You can choose the classic view all the time, so it will come up with that box rather than the original one where you have to type it in. But I prefer to type it in quickly and look for what I'm looking for. While we're here actually, go to advanced. If you need shortcuts, there's all your shortcuts there you can use as well once you get really confident with it, and click OK. Go back to word processor. So there's some basics to get you up and running on Zotero. It's a simple program but quite powerful. And you always go to document preferences here and change your reference style again if you want to use a different reference style. For example, MHRA. If I click on Modern Humanities, you can see it's asking me whether it's endnote or footnote. So make sure you choose the correct one. And it creates a footnote automatically for you. You can see the one and the footnote at the bottom. You can unlink citations from the actual Zotero. Click OK. Problem with that, once you link them, you can't go back and edit them. They'll just be manual text, so bear that in mind as well. There's a few basics to get you up and running. Hope that was a help. Thanks for watching.